He was sentenced to prison before DNA could speak, before technology could prove innocence, before the system was ready to admit it could be wrong. In 1985, Stephen Avery was labeled a monster, a violent criminal, a man the town wanted locked away. But what if the wrong man went to prison and everyone helped it happen? Stephen Avery grew up in Manitowoc County, Wisconsin, a quiet place where everyone knew everyone. Avery wasn't popular. He came from a poor family. He had a criminal record for petty offenses. To many locals, he was already guilty of something, anything. So when a woman was brutally attacked while jogging along Lake Michigan, suspicion didn't spread far. It landed on Stephen Avery almost immediately. The victim described her attacker. Police organized a lineup. Stephen Avery stood among other men. He stood out, not because of evidence, but because police believed he belonged there. The victim identified him. That single moment outweighed alibis, overlooked witnesses, and ignored inconsistencies. In 1985, Stephen Avery was convicted of sexual assault and attempted murder, sentenced to 32 years in prison. Prison swallowed Avery's life. Birthdays passed, family aged, hope thinned. From his cell, Avery wrote letters, claiming innocence again and again. Most were ignored, but outside the prison walls, something was changing. Science was catching up. DNA testing, once impossible, was becoming powerful enough to answer old questions. In 2003, nearly 18 years later, DNA testing was conducted on evidence from the case. The results were undeniable. Stephen Avery was not the attacker. Another man, already imprisoned for similar crimes, was responsible. Avery walked free, exonerated, angry, broken. The system had stolen almost 2 decades of his life. Stephen Avery's first conviction became one of America's most infamous wrongful imprisonments. It exposed tunnel vision, bias, and a system that sometimes decides guilt first and looks for proof later. And hauntingly, this was only the beginning of his story, because years after winning his freedom, Stephen Avery would find himself back behind bars again.